Filter here. Well, before I get on my review of Doctor Who's Spyfall Part 2, uh, today I was out with my girlfriend. We went to the mall and she had to do something personal over there. And I went over to the local Michaels. If I don't know if there's a Michaels all over the place in the United States or whatever. Michaels is an arts and crafts place. You can get all types of stuff. You can get books on drawing and art supplies and the like. Well, today I picked up one of these pens. Get that? And closer, closer, closer. Focus, focus. Well, you can't see it. Anyway, it looked a lot like a. Oh, it's got a little thing here. This is a 0.5, and it looked like it might be non-repo blue. Now, I drew this with a non-repo blue pencil some time ago. I think early this year. I don't know if you could see it. I'm going to give it a shot to see if I can, if this is actually possibly non-repo blue. Colors look relatively the same, if not a little bit lighter. So I don't know if you could see the circles there. Yeah, much lighter. Chances are this is most likely a non-repo blue. I'm going to run it through my scanner to see if it shows up. I just put it on black and white and see what happens. All right. Other tricks of the trade, if you can find it, a design Spectracolor on photo blue pencil. Right there. This is, yeah, by design. Very good, very pricey. That's why I decided to go with the ink pens here because it's, you know, I mean, you wind up paying something like $4 for one pencil, and this thing cost me like, what? Like I said, the shipping, when it's easier, just go to your local mall, if you still have a mall. And there's a Michael's that's in the immediate vicinity, like what we have, you just go there, which is rather convenient because it's across the street from a Best Buy and numerous other little things that are out there. Okay, now, my review of the episode. I'm not sure where they're going with this, but I'm kind of intrigued. But let's start out. They wind up getting out, Ryan, Graham, and Yasmin get out of the predicament they're in with the plane crashing. And then eventually the doctor winds up going way back in time, not way back in time, but back to the 19th century to meet a woman named Ada, who's associated with Charles Babbage, the inventor of the computer. It gets cringy at this point where Charles Babbage says something about women, and I'm like, oh, the episode was going so well. Why'd you have to ruin it? And there's a few cringy things in there. Overall, I did enjoy the episode. I did enjoy it. The ending, again, I'm not sure where you're going with this, but you find out the Master raised Gallifrey, like just wiped it out. How one single Time Lord dude could do this, I don't know. When you got all these other Time Lords running around in a place, and not one of them can figure out, I don't know. This is just weird. And apparently there's a huge lie that's going on. Why the Master's in such let's kill everybody mode is beyond me, but what are you going to do? Again, maybe at this point they've gotten a whole, I don't know, maybe they finally started listening, but they're still holding on to that cringy aspect of the show where they like to put in these weird things, this semi SJW stuff and the like, and there's like, and little comments in there that are just tossed out there, which again slightly cringy, but overall you have to kind of just take the good with the bad, or take the bad with the good. You know, it's like I gotta live with that. No, actually, I should change the title of this video. Because there's other stuff I'd like to talk about. Actually, I would like to hope that the Comic Book Hut is listening. I mean, he made a video proclaiming that Comicsgate is dead. I respectfully have to disagree with him. Or really, I can't say it's dead, but there are some wounds that need to be healed. Comicsgate is not dead. Again, I think it's been wounded through actions, be it purposely, inadvertently, ego, take your pick. And again, here's how I got there. I made the comparison before between Gamergate and Comicsgate. Gamergate, there was no recourse. Like I said, that you really couldn't change the industry per se, unless you had a friend of yours that could code money, real money behind you, advertising. You know, you had a few people who could put some stuff out there on Steam. Yeah, that was fine, but it wasn't like top quality games that are out there, you know. And that's just one of the things, and I completely accept that, you know. And Gamergate died again because of ego and people, and there's really very little we could do about it. Now, Comicsgate, its saving grace is we've got creators out there. We've got artists and writers. We have people who want to create an alternative to what we're seeing in the comic industry. I don't know if I've told this story before, but I'm going to say it again. My first comic book I found when I was about 7 years old. I'm walking outside and I found a comic book. My very first comic book drawn by Jose Delbo. It was a Captain Marvel Shazam comic book. I remember the cover distinctly, and I hope daggone cover. And because it has Billy Batson on one side, and you have this guy with pointed ears and a Kaiser helmet on with a reverse of the outfit. Instead of the red with the yellow, it's yellow with the red. And that fascinated me. Also, it kind of helped the fact that I had watched Mirror Mirror, so seeing opposites of your heroes was like really fascinating. So I got that. And that turned me on to comic books. And eventually, for me growing up, it was Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Action Comics. Surprisingly, I didn't get too much Batman. I got a good amount of mysteries in space, at least back then. Boy, I'm really going back in time here. Let's see, I was 7 years old. So wow. 1974? Oh, geez. But like I said, those were the comics then. And like I said, today we have a recourse. We don't need big companies to produce a comic. All we need is imagination, a little bit of money, in some cases maybe not that much. And, hell, you probably have $500 and you could probably do like maybe 100 issues, create 100 issues, and mail them off to your friends, family, and the like. And hopefully people could enjoy them. Your friends and your family might get a kick out of them. And maybe, just maybe, somebody might say, the bigger companies might say, hey, we like this character coming out of it. Maybe. Or it might take off, you get more money, and you could just keep going. Conventions, that's another ball game because you just, we saw what happened with Allison Tiemann, which is a damn shame, and I'm really hoping one day somebody changes their mind and allows her to print her stuff back up again. Because I'm not telling you when, but I figure, what the hell? But I do like that independent creator aspect of comics. I like it when people are able to do something on their own, avoiding the big companies, and just putting out the story they want to tell. Like, pretty much like any art. If you get a kick out of it, that's some of the stuff that you might get are just, like I said, maybe somebody's going to enjoy it. It's not about. Well, yeah. Just thought I'd put that out there. Let me jump back again. Doctor Who. Overall, it was a good episode. I'll give it solid 6.8. No, 6.7. Again, there was some cringy ass to something, and I like that. I like the fact that they're trying to build up to something. So I just hope it's not going to be cringy, if you know what I mean. It seems that most of the time they just like doing these weird things and it leaves you hanging, and you're like, what the hell? But I got to jump back again. Like I said, to the comic book cut, I don't think Gamergate is dead. It's been wounded, but it's not dead. There's still many people out there who want to put out their own product. They want to create their own stories. And it's their own little fight, their own little resistance cell, if you will, of dogmatic gobbledygook. So, I just be device not recognized. It's a damn speaker charged to the. What the hell? I get this little stupid thing keep flashing on the side. USB device not recognized. Just keeps coming up every 5 seconds. Oh, let me do this. Shut you off. All right. Let's see. Oh, let me put this up again. Oh, it's back again. Oh, screw me. So, let's hold on. I know this is getting annoying for some of you out there, but oh, I didn't want this. Now the screen just went through. All right. Okay. All right. Other things I want to talk about. I kind of brought this up before, and that is the ridiculous notion that guys are telling women that they're not, that they don't belong in comics, fantasy, gaming, and the like. And I'll give you again my personal experience growing up during the 80s as a teenager. It was difficult to run into any girls who liked comic books, Dungeons and Dragons, sci-fi movies. Maybe once in a while they might see Star Wars if it aired on TV, or maybe the odd Godzilla movie because that was their thing. Maybe Planet of the Apes, also a really cool movie. But other than that, it was rare that you'd find a girl who was interested in anything. Now, judging by what I'm looking at now, it seems that the current crop of girls interested in games, tabletop games, Dungeons and Dragons, video games, most of them seem to have been born sometime in 87 or 88, 89, during that time. Anywhere from, I guess, 88, 87 to 90. That's when we see they're all on YouTube are showing up. there's many of them. There's a Sword and Steel who games and paints their models along with not along with but also there's Wargamer Girl who does her thing. There's Mecha Random 42. She's out there doing her thing. And this is getting on my damn nerves. Unplug that stupid thing. All right. Again, the little sign keeps showing up on the side there saying your device needs something. Anyway, like I said, you have somebody like Mecha Random who's doing your thing. You've got who else? Let's see, again, you got Allison. Women in that Star Wars. I mean, there's just a plethora of women who are into gaming and comics, and gaming and comics, sci-fi, and fantasy. Nobody's complaining about them. In fact, it's like finally there's actually women who are interested in something like that. I mean, for the most part, popular culture right now thinks that women will never be interested. It's sort of like when you watch. Gotta bring this up. It's like when you watch The Big Bang Theory. You've got Penny, Bernadette, and Amy, and they all seem to have this weird thing about what the guys do when it comes to gaming and comic books and the like. I mean, Penny apparently in one episode is great at Halo, and Bernadette is really good at playing the Star Wars online game. But Amy is like completely out of. But they all treat the guys' hobbies as childish, which is kind of messed up. You know, what if they were doing crocheting? I mean, would they feel bad about that? I mean, honestly, you know, I guess they wanted to be manly men throwing a football or something like that. But let's be honest, most guys don't get to spend 25 years since I last threw a football, much less played any type of sport. So, like I said, I just thought I'd put in my 2 cents after this, like I said, after the Doctor Who episode. And I hope, I honestly hope that I can have a decent chat with the Comic Book Hut. I'd like to find out what's going on with him. And I'd like to discuss what I think about it. Now, apparently, again, Ethan Van Sciver did some really weird song, and I'm like, okay, that's Cringe Fest 101. But, I mean, I guess the real difference, and the only reason why I kind of give Ethan Van Sciver a pass and not James Gunn, I mean, this is going to sound messed up. James Gunn is in Hollywood, and we've been hearing some really wacky stuff coming out of Hollywood. The so-called, what do they call it? The open secret, if you will, of what goes on. Ooh, somebody gave me a thumbs up. Nice. The open secret of what goes on behind the scenes, and then you hear the thing with Harvey Weinstein and all these other people. It's just one huge mess. So it's easy to believe that, and it's easy, and on the other side, it's easy to kind of give Ethan Van Sciver a pass. But personally, I'd like to see a decent conversation work out between you to the Comic Book Hut and to Ethan Van Sciver if he ever sees this video, which I somehow doubt, but hey, what are you going to do? So I just thought I'd put that out there. If anybody knows the Comic Book Hut, point him to this. Let him know. Let him know what I think about this. Like I said, all due respect, I don't think Comicsgate is dead. Honestly, I don't think it's dead. It's just been wounded. Because there's still plenty of people out there willing to create on the. He's a professional, but in some cases, you don't have to be. You don't have to be professional. I mean, I was at the Atlantic City Comic Con some years back, and one up in Livingston, New Jersey, and that was, let's see, the Atlantic City one, that was like what, 5 years ago, and the Livingston one was like 3 years ago. Well, the Livingston, I think it was in Livingston. Oh, jeez. Coincidentally, that's where I have to go in and get my checkup for the whole kidney thing because they have to. I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, we were up there and I saw a lot of people just putting out whatever they wanted to do their own book or bought one of their things. I thought, it's not that bad. It's like they're telling their story. They're putting out their art. And I thought, you know what? Fine by me. Not losing sleep here. So I just thought I'd put that out there. So, like this video, share it, hit a thumbs up, check the subscriber dealy bob. And until then, I'm Filter, and y'all have a good week coming up. Until then, I guess I'm out. And let's hit the little thingy there. Oh, one other thing. Again, for those of you who are aspiring artists, do some trial and error. I guess this is kind of redundant for me to say, but some trial and error to kind of figure out how you want to do some stuff. Find out which pencils work best with you. Find out whether or not you could use pencil leads, lead holders, manga pens, regular ink pens. Just find out. See what feels comfortable to you. And again, don't get frustrated, because I learned over the years not to get frustrated. I remember I would do something and then years later I'd look at it and go, oh, that's odd. And that was it. But I know some people that they get frustrated, especially younger people. When I mean younger people, I'm talking about like adolescents. And one of the things that adolescents like to do, that they get frustrated, especially younger people. When I mean younger people, I'm talking about like adolescents. And one of the things that adolescents like to do, case in point, I was at a Hanukkah party. Yes, Hanukkah party. And they didn't have Manischewitz. Huh, go figure. Anyways, I was at a Hanukkah party, and one of my girlfriend's relatives saw me drawing, and he wanted to learn how to draw, and he tried to draw a picture of Spider-Man that I drew. And it was funny. I could tell he got a little frustrated when the picture didn't turn out exactly the way he thought. And I told him, never tear apart. There's two things. Never apologize for your art, and never tear it out if it doesn't look right. Keep that as a reminder of what not to do and just keep going. That's all. Now, when you're really good and you make a mistake, then you can throw it out. So there you go. Well, again, I'm Filter. I hope to see you guys real soon. I should have done a video sometime last week, but again, certain other things popped up, and this week I got to get a blood test, and I tell you, kidney transplants can be a bitch. But nonetheless, I'm out. Y'all have a good evening. Y'all have a terrific week. See ya.